up, y'all? What's good? What's good? I don't know why I just did that. What's up, y'all? What's poppin'? How was everybody doing today, man? You already know how it go. It is your boy B back with another video, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Whether you're watching now or later, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, so today we're going to be hopping into a few different things. I know I did tell you guys that I would be doing a live in reference to reselling, and that's what we're going to do. But we have a few screenshots of something I'm going to show you guys. I'm thinking about actually going and answering some of your questions as far as comments as well. I did screenshot a few because I do know people have questions via comments on multiple platforms that they've asked me, and I do want to make sure I get to those. Now, when it comes to the screenshots I'm referring to, I want to hop right into the phone repair sheets. So let me get them all open real quick. So if you don't know, I've told you guys so many times that it's important to have a connection with the repair shop, right? And I want to really show you guys why, because I do understand that a lot of us, we tend to think we can do the business or we can control the business on our own. But as you'll see when you're phone flipping, it is always good when you can have a company that has your back, especially a company that has your back that opens opportunities for you to buy more things. So prime example, right? If you have a phone flipping business or income stream or side hustle, and you are struggling right now to find things to buy, right? You can go ahead and start buying phones that are damaged, or phones that are used, or phones that maybe have defects, and you can actually utilize them by using a repair store to fix the phones for you. Then you make that huge profit because you obviously brought it for low, right? So we talked about this on our last live on how I would start negotiating with people, right? Like when I go to negotiate, off the rip, I'm looking, especially if I'm a new phone flipper, I'm looking for devices that are damaged in some way, but I prefer to say a minor way, which means I'm not looking for nothing with a cracked back, but I definitely would buy a cracked face, so a cracked screen. I'll buy products that may, or phones that may have a speaker problem or a battery that needs replacement, because all of these things are easy to fix. The problem comes into play when you are stuck in limbo trying to buy phones that are sealed, and your price or your change fund, I call it, and you would only know what that is if you watched the last live, but it's basically the money that you're using to flip phones. Your change fund isn't equating up to those devices you're looking to actually buy. So the best method, and I'll go over this real quick, to getting devices is literally looking for cracked iPhones, right? Now, when you look for cracked iPhones, you'll see like a lot of different type of devices, and sometimes even just regular bulk orders will pop up. Me personally, I don't like utilizing OfferUp for bulk orders. I like buying one phone at a time with this platform, because I feel like with bulk orders, it's a lot to keep up with, especially if I'm meeting you somewhere, and I don't feel like it's safe for a lot of people that may not necessarily know the ropes to be inspecting multiple phones in front of a buyer or a seller, and you're overwhelmed, and then you miss something, and then you lose money, right? So the main purpose and the main point is to make sure, again, that if you are phone flipping, that you're keeping the phone flipping to the minimum when you first start out. So in our other live video, I talked about how you don't want to start flipping phones with anything over $300. If you are, you're gambling, because a lot of phone flippers, especially when they get started, they get antsy. They want to just start flipping immediately. And 9 times out of 10, they get caught. And what I mean by they get caught is they'll end up getting phones that are fake, or buying a phone that is blacklisted. It happened to me. I lost a really close buyer to me because I brought phones that were actually what was it? They were fake. I believe they were Android iPhones, and I didn't know because it was sealed, so I didn't know. And long story short, they ended up hitting me up when it got to China, and they were like, "Yo, this phone is fake. Why would you do this to us?" And I'm like, "Bro, I didn't do nothing to you." They like, "You sold us fake phones." I'm like, "Well, I didn't open it, bro." But they don't care, right? So I ended up having to lose that buyer, because then they started talking about bad business and etc. And you don't want that. Trust me. That's a hard lesson I had to learn. So when it comes to flipping phones and phone repair prices, I'm about to expose some phone repair prices right now. I'm about to expose everything from the iPhone 16 all the way to the iPhone XR. All right, so I have a phone flipping or a phone repair price list right here. And this is actually from a repair shop that I partner with, okay? Now, this is actually a distributor, not really a repair shop, but a distributor that I work with. And they are very much, I would say seasoned. I would say they're fair. I would say that they're definitely somewhere I get phone screens from often. But let's deep dive, okay? So, number one, right? When you look at this, right, this is actually a price list for iPhones. And wow, the LCD screen for the iPhone 16e is, guess what, $27. That is crazy. $27. Why is that important? It's important because if you're going, right, to OfferUp, or you're going to eBay, or wherever you're trying to buy phones, and I don't recommend going on eBay, okay? But if you're going on these platforms and you're trying to flip phones and you find one that is cracked screen, you probably could tell that person, it's going to cost me $80 to fix. How about we do X, Y, and Z price, right? And that would probably get you the win instead of you overpaying. So it's always important for you to know what phone repair prices are costing. Now, this doesn't include labor. So if I was to give you guys an example, like in my store, what I would have done is if it would cost $27, I'd probably charge somebody $60, $60 to $80. Now, a lot of other locations, when it comes to repairs, they'll charge you, if it's $27, they'll still charge you $120, right? Because it's all about, and I heard a really funny story today, and I'll explain it in a second, but it's all about what you think that person is willing to pay, especially with phone flipping. Like, when it comes to phone screens, they'll hit you upside the head because they know that you're trying to flip a phone and you need them to do it, right? You need them. And they know that. They're not stupid. So that's where you got to really, really be careful and make sure that if you are trying to flip phones with the anticipation of repairing the phone or even partnering with the repair shop, make sure that repair shop is up front with their costs, because a lot of people will try to finesse you. And that's why I'm sending this to you and I'm showing this to you guys. And again, the iPhone 16e, the LCD screen costs $27. So that means I can go ahead, I can go buy an iPhone 16e crack right now. They're only worth like $250. I could probably get one for, if it's cracked, probably $150. Right? I could probably get one for $150, and then I can go ahead and fix this up and then probably sell it for $300. That's how easy it is, right? The iPhone 16 Pro, that screen is $127. The iPhone 16 Plus screen is $48. The iPhone 16 screen, and these are all Supreme, are $48. So when you go into repair shops, I'm telling y'all right now, if they taxing, you should know at this point, because I'm telling you the amount that they're charging stores like me. Okay, they're not charging us a lot of bread for these screens. Screens don't cost a lot of money. The labor does. And what happens is stores finesse and try to, prime example, an iPhone 15 Pro Max soft. Now, the 15 Pro Max is always going to be really, really expensive, especially when it comes to repair, because the screen usually has to be OLED for them to be able to get the same quality that they would experience with Apple. And that costs $145. So if I was to go and try to flip a phone and I'm buying an iPhone 15 Pro Max and it's cracked or the screen is messed up, that's when I really got to take a deep dive on what I'm trying to do, because they do have standard and supreme, but for the 15 Pro Max model, I tend to see the soft version, and these are all different grades, right? So these are all like A plus, B plus, C, but soft is just basically going to be OLED. It's going to be brighter, look better. But I would never buy the $145 one. I would always get the $35 one, no cap. Like I wouldn't overpay. I've never overpaid for phone screens. And then you got the iPhone 15 Pro soft for $119, but you got the standard for $29.20. So I'm sticking with the $29.20. Then I'll go to the $35 one. But again, these phone screens don't cost over $50. So you can easily buy these phones and get them repaired. Now you can either partner with a repair shop, have them fix the phone, or what you could do is say, yo, listen, I'm a phone flipper. I flip phones on a consistent basis. I want to partner with you guys. And, the win that you guys would get is a consistent flow of people or me coming in with phones from people that need to get fixed. Now, a lot of repair shops, and I'll give you guys this, a lot of repair shops are struggling for traffic, okay? It's really hard because we have a bunch of different competition popping up all the time. A really good example is T-Mobile just recently started to partner with certain repair shops, and now they're starting to offer T-Mobile repairs in other locations. It's a bunch of competition. So you going up to a repair shop saying you want to partner is always going to be lucrative to that repair shop, and they should bite on it, okay? Let's go to the next page. So then we got the 14s. So the iPhone 14 standard, the screen is $18.50. Wow. That means a lot. Now, the reason that means a lot is because if you come across a cracked screen iPhone 14, you better buy it, because that screen cost is very low, which means all you got to do is kick out that bread and get somebody to fix it. You can get a repair shop to fix it. You can fix it. But again, it doesn't matter. You really want to just know what your cost of goods are. And I can't tell you what the labor in your area is, but a lot of repair shops, the labor is between $50 to $30. I tend to fluctuate on that labor aspect depending on the phone, because different phones require different amounts of intricate detail, right? Like iPads, I hate fixing iPads because you got to essentially break the whole dang screen, and it's just really annoying. All right. So the next one, okay, this is the last one. All right. The next one is going to be the old phones. This is not the last one, but the iPhone XS, which is one of the best phones on the market. Well, it used to be on the market, $11.78. So you guys can read this. I want to say one more. The iPhone 11 standard is $12. This is the first time I'm seeing this list, so I'm $12 for an iPhone 11 screen. So what you got to think about with that is, how many people do you know or do you think have cracked iPhone 11s? I'm telling you, a lot of people. Cracked iPhone 11. Oh, I'm tired. Yeah, like a Boost Mobile one for $30. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is how you get phones to flip fast. But again, it all depends on how you want to fix this phone. I don't recommend you fixing it by yourself off the rip. I would say definitely make sure you partner with somebody, and you'll be fine. If you partner with somebody, you're going to be good. All right. Boom. All right. So now that we're moving past that, guys, let's go into Mercari. All right. I don't want to stick too much onto the phone flipping because I already talked about it. So I don't want to do that. Mercari. So what I ended up doing was I said, all right, let me act as if somebody that is just starting a brand new Mercari. What would I do? I don't talk about Mercari a lot. I don't. Mercari is one of my favorite websites to sell. The reason why I love Mercari, Mercari to me, it's Amazon, but I don't like selling on Amazon because Amazon is a monopoly. Amazon isn't what people try to portray it to be. Amazon is definitely a website or a company that will steal your sales. I've witnessed it, saw it, felt it. I just don't think they're for the seller. But I would say Amazon, eBay, and then Mercari. Okay, I love Mercari because it gives you that flea market feel. Now, the reason I sell on Mercari would be a simple reason. It would be literally I want to sell some products and have people give me offers and be able to decipher through the offers. You can even have people build bundles for themselves and then ask you if you're willing to do it. This is an overall great platform for that person that works that 9 to 5 and they're just trying to get their feet wet and see if they can sell products. Mercari is pretty good, but the only thing about Mercari is the whole you got to wait until you get graded to get paid. Jaden, what's up? Jaden Resells was popping. Yo, my eBay got permanent and I feel like I'm cooked. I used to make good money on eBay. You're not cooked, bro. I wouldn't say you cooked. Why did you get banned? I mean, that's one thing to realize is, one, why you got banned or why you feel like you got banned. Was it a ban or was it a restriction? That's two different things. Hopefully it was a restriction and not a ban. But if it's a ban, you're still not cooked technically. You know, you got to be optimistic. All right, so now with Mercari, the reason I like this platform is because you're given a situation to where you're able to list products fast, but you're not going to have as many high-paying clients as you would on like an eBay because I find Mercari is a little bit, it has an audience, but it's not at all the size of eBay. All right. Permanently suspended. Okay. So your eBay is permanently suspended. So one, you would want to find out why, but two, all I would say, bro, just create a business one. You straight. Oh, first time it was counterfeit, and second time it was bureau violation. Okay, so this is what I would say, right? Thank you for the follow, Jaden. Thank you so much. All right, so this is what I would say. When it comes to your eBay, I would create an LLC. That's number one, right? I'm sure you probably have an LLC. And then go create a business eBay. Don't put the same address. Don't use the same Wi-Fi nor the same device while you're creating this account. And then make sure you don't use the same bank information. And then it will let you create that eBay. And from there, just start over. But, you know, be a bit more cautious. But that's what I would do. Especially since you said you was making good bread. So, you know, we don't want to lose money in no way, shape, or form. So that's what I would do. But there is a way to get them banned. I went through a similar problem. I got banned, and I didn't know what to do because I was literally solely depending on eBay. At one point in my life, I took a break from phone flipping. I was depending on eBay, and I swore that eBay was going to be – I don't even know what I thought because – see, eBay is a great platform, but eBay isn't something that you know you want to sustain on. You know, it's like I wouldn't really depend on eBay, but I think that eBay is a great way to make money. But it's all about taking it off of eBay. Like that's the main point. The main point is not staying there. It's just using it as a funnel to get customers. Then I put the business card in the products that I ship, and then offer them a discount, then they come to my website, sign up, I get their email, and now they're my customer. You feel me? eBay doesn't like that, but who cares, right? eBay is a free platform to be able to promote and market. Okay? So, now, if you have any other, okay, there you are. I mean, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, and Mercari been working well for me. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I mean, they're all good platforms. I think at one point, the most profitable platform for me, believe it or not, y'all, and I remember this was years ago, and I don't know what the hell happened. Facebook, I've never seen as much money be made on a online platform than what I was making on Facebook. But then some weird stuff happened, and I was really sketchy. I was wary. I didn't trust it. But I'm talking about I was doing like 10K half a day, and I'm like, I don't trust this. So I just didn't send it, and then they ended up stopping me. But yeah, it's just at this point you want to make sure that you are pushing yourself to actually getting the best results possible. You know what I mean? The best results possible. So I would keep going with the Mercari and all of that, but I would try to get back on eBay. I ain't gonna lie. I would definitely try to get back on eBay, because eBay is gonna get you the success when it comes to notoriety, and also it's a bigger platform. All right. Next, guys, when it comes to bundling, when it comes to product sourcing, when it comes to wholesale deals, when it comes to all of that, these are the type of sales that I would actually utilize Mercari for. Because when I go and when I start to list on eBay, I find like bundles sell, but they sell a bit slower than they tend to sell on Mercari, if that makes sense. I feel like Mercari is more beneficial when it comes to, thank you for the likes, Jaden, thank you. When it comes to bulk orders, wholesaling, like I've sold, I think it was like 40 AirPod Max clones on Mercari. I've sold a bundle of phones. I've sold, of course, charging bundles. I've sold a bunch of bundles on Mercari. Now, I will say Mercari is one of them platforms, though, where for some reason it's like a tight-knit community. Thank you. It's like a tight-knit community. So when it comes to like taking pictures, I still do it. But like I've had people get cold feet because other people that are selling on the platform was like, "Why are you taking my picture? You using my?" I don't care. I'm gonna use whatever picture I want to use. I'm not taking my own picture. There's no point. Thank you, Jaden, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, it's no point. It's no point for me to take my own pictures, especially on Mercari. Look at this. Like, I can find anything like this is something let me think. Oh, this is right here. Let's say a 3-in-1 charging stand. These are one of the premier up and coming things that I see selling on eBay. It looks like they're selling okay on Mercari, but when you go to sold, right? When you go to sold, you want to go and make sure you hit newest first. And then when you hit newest first, right? You want to make sure that you want to make sure you're looking for the most recent, which would be, I'm trying to find the one that I'm looking for. It would look like this, but it's not that. I don't even see the one that I'm looking for, which means that I would have to go to like eBay, and I would type in 3-in-1 charging stand, and then I'll probably be able to find it. Watch. I might have to put white because that's what it is. It's a white charging stand, but you want to find the exact one that you have. Let me see. No, I don't want to do that. Why is this? Oh, this thing is tweaking. I unchecked it and then it came up. Anyway, so this is a good one. We're going to save that for a second. But I don't see it right now. That would tell me that product isn't selling well. But I really beg to differ when I see this selling. Where is it at? This selling. But this is $8.14. Now, that's one thing I say about Mercari, though, is Mercari, you're not going to make as much money as you would want. Like with Mercari, you're going to make bread, but you're not going to make as much money as, you would with eBay. You have a bunch of cheap people on this platform. Hence why you want a bundle. Look at this. Somebody probably selling our maxes. Let's see. Yup, they definitely are. Look at this. Oh, no, I don't know what the heck. No. But look, y'all. Ooh, this is interesting. Because if this person... we're going to come back to that. All right, so the first thing that I would do, right? First thing I would do with Mercari is I would look for a bundle that I would want to sell. Of course, make sure it's products that you have. We're going to do the new magnetic wireless power bank high quality fast charger for iPhone. This is a crazy behind title. And this is also a title that I would not recommend. When it comes to like Mercari or eBay, you don't want like those titles where it tells a whole book or a story. You know what I mean? Like, just say what it is. How can I boost my profits? Now, all right, so when it comes to boosting your profits, it depends on the platform. But let's say you're talking about Mercari. You want to boost your profits by, number one, and this is interesting, right? So what you can do, let me make sure let me see, because I want to say it right. What you can do is you could start honestly revising products to products that are selling currently. Now, here's the thing about boosting profits is when you're boosting profits on Mercari, you want to make sure all you're doing is changing your profile pictures, or not your profile pictures, but your product pictures on a consistent basis, and also revising your price point. You got to remember, eBay, people search for quality over price. Mercari, people search for price over quality. They don't care about, oh, this is the best AAA quality mag safe chart. Like, they don't care about that. Not on Mercari. On Mercari, they care about, all right, well, how much you selling it to me for? Dead serious. Like, you rarely will get bad reviews on Mercari unless you're drawing. Like, unless you are selling some crazy stuff. Like, I tell y'all this. I rarely got bad offers or bad reviews or chargebacks on Mercari ever. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Mercari, the customers already don't have high expectation. And see, that could be a good and a bad thing, especially when, you're somebody trying to elevate and you're trying to sell and make a bunch of money. Mercari, you're not going to get rich. You're not going to get rich. But what you are going to do is you're going to be able to start getting a good 500,000, even 15 if you do it the right way, by consistently being on the platform, consistently shipping. But again, low expectations, cheap customers, but the customers will definitely be on your ass when it comes to shipping and when it comes to all of that. So you have to weigh if it works or if it's beneficial to you. It's beneficial in my opinion because it's just another income stream. But this is definitely something where a lot of people are. I'm trying to use a different word than just the whole flea market vibes, but it's really what they give me. Yo, what's up, broski? Water, what's poppin'? You resell iPhones? That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. When it comes to iPhones and reselling, what state? What state are you in? Like, what state do you do it in? And that's another thing. State matters, y'all. So people in New York, they're going to be surrounded by high competition. But somewhere like North Dakota, they don't have that much competition. See, what about OfferUp? So OfferUp. Now, 1 second. Let's get on OfferUp in 1 second. Because OfferUp is different. OfferUp is different. Very, very different. We're going to do that. No smart pricing. Price. We're not going to do that. We'll do. So I already know how much these cost. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just really hate. Let me do this. I'm going to do this. So that's another thing I failed to mention. Jayden, 1 second. I'm going to answer that in 1 second. I'm going to answer you 1 second, Water. One thing about Mercari before I forget. You never, ever, 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 when you just starting out, want to offer people free shipping. Bruh, there's no way you're going to make bread. No way. Like, it's no way. You got to literally make your price appealing and have them pay for shipping. All right, Jayden, what about OfferUp? So OfferUp, that's hard, okay? If I'm going to be honest with you, OfferUp, I do have people that ask me to ship orders, people ask me to ship orders all the time to them, and I do, but it's a bunch of people. It depends on your area. It's a bunch of people that will order, and then there's a bunch of people that will want to meet, and then they don't show, or they just stop hitting you up. So it all depends on your area. Me, I kind of mastered mine because I started realizing that OfferUp is best for me when I offer wholesale products, right? So if I have like let's say, I got a good example. So let's say, right? Let's say I got all of these, right? So I'll go on OfferUp and I'll legitimately just take a picture of all of these. I'll just take a picture of all of these in a box on OfferUp, and then I'll say whatever amount I want for all of them, but then I'll say DM me for individual price, right? But something like this, prime example, this is a really good tip. Something like this, I would never ever sell individually because there's too many people selling these individually on OfferUp on Facebook. So what I would do as a reseller is, since I see that it's saturated on those platforms, what I do is I list them as a bulk. So I'll be like, yo, I'm a wholesaler. Hey, my name, I don't even gotta say my name, but hey, I'm a wholesaler. I wholesale AirPods. Hit me up. Price starts at blah, blah, blah. And see, the reason you do that is because you start to separate yourself from those regular people. And a lot of people don't do this. Instead, what they do is they try to copy, or they like, you know what, whatever. I'm going to just stick with what's going on this platform and just keep listing the same stuff just like everybody else. But what ends up happening is they end up just having dead listings. If you find that the high competition is where you're at, as far as if you have product glasses, or maybe you have AirPods, or maybe you have chargers, whatever, and you feel like it's saturated, the way to beat that every single time as a reseller is to stop acting like a reseller, but instead act like a wholesaler. So instead, what you do is, instead of going ahead and just offering people one piece, make sure it's similar to bundling, but you're not positioning it as a bundle. You're not like, yo, buy this 12-pack bundle. No, you're like, I'm a wholesaler. And then you say, prices start at X amount. Hit me up. Like, you want people to hit you up for custom orders, basically, right? So that's the type of way that you would approach that, all right? Water from YouTube was popping. So what do you sell on Facebook Marketplace? Any items? I don't know why this is cut off on my end. This is so annoying. Okay, there we go. Any items? All right, so Facebook Marketplace is a platform that sells well, but it all depends on, for me, it depends on what's trending. Right now, I'm selling speakers. I used to sell cases. I used to sell AirPods, AirPod clones. I used to sell things like that, but then what ended up happening was I started to see that people were ordering, and this is really going to mess people up. You ready? I stopped listing so much on Facebook certain products when I realized people only wanted one. So, like, think about it. why would I, and this goes for OfferUp too, why would I go to you to sell you one piece of something? You get what I'm saying? Like if we on Facebook and you're like, yeah, all right, can we meet up so I can buy these? So I charge you $50 for these. But why would I go 30, 20, even 10 minutes to meet somebody that might not be there? I'm not doing that. So like I usually just list wholesale things. Even if you don't have all the product, it at least lets you know if it works, so then you can, you know what to stock up on. So if I was to answer your question right now, wholesale speakers, like I have a bunch of speakers. I have a bunch of speakers. Like these are like speaker samples right here. But like I got way more than that. I have like Joa, Raycon, things of that nature that I don't even put online. Because I only put things online that I know sell and would sell for everybody, right? What do you think would sell good in Massachusetts? So I don't know nothing about Massachusetts as far as the market, so I wouldn't lie to you. But one thing I will say is the way that you find out what would sell good in your area is you find out what people are actually buying. So like for eBay, for Mercari, for Facebook, OfferUp, all of these platforms, you should, except for like two of them, you can't, but you can see what's sold. I would utilize that sold filter and see what's selling. Now, if you're on eBay, you're probably like, yo, bro, I'm not meeting up with nobody on eBay. I'm just shipping it to them. What we've found, and we deal with, so we have a service called eBay Automation where we list, ship, and provide products for people. I deal with 300 plus accounts, okay? I work with eBays on a daily basis. But the funny thing is, not one eBay sells the exact same way as another. Like there's always different variables, right? Like one product may be selling on one eBay and another product may be thriving on another. But the point of the matter is, and the reason I say this is because this led us to this hypothesis that your location does matter. Like I have people in Canada that want to sell in the United States, and they do, right? We get a nice virtual address, we hook them up, but their accounts tend to sell faster with a virtual address that's downtown or something. Faster than a regular residential address like how we have. And what that really, in my opinion, has to do with is eBay not really knowing your demographic because you have a virtual address and it's like buildings and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's, like the virtual addresses usually are in like buildings where it's like suites and stuff. But when you have like a residential, it tends to grow slower, which is really interesting. It's really interesting. So I would say in your area, bro, I would definitely recommend finding what sells. I'm not going to be the one to try and lie to you and be like, hey, you should sell this. You know what I mean? No, I ain't even on. I'm not going to do that. I feel like reselling is so easy if we learn how to do research. Or if we master the art of research. So I would just say, bro, just research it. Look for what's selling, right? And then just try to list it. Even if that shit don't work, bro, list it and see what product starts selling, even if you don't have that product. Thank you for the likes, man. Got me to 500. Let's get it. I appreciate you. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you're getting your research done to be able to tell what's selling in your area. All right, that's really important. Really important, y'all. Now, when it comes to Mercari, guys, back to what we were saying, and if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. That's why I'm here. This account has been dead for a while, and look, 2 views already, right? And we just listed it. Now, the reason I'm saying that this Mercari account has been dead is because, one, it's just been sitting there. I have a bunch of Mercari accounts and eBay accounts, I have them just as fallbacks just because I don't want, to be banned or anything and not be able to, use them. But like this is dead. But now we got a few views, and we know for a fact since it's got 2 views already, hopefully it's going to sell, right? What other trending product can we sell though? Like what other product that is selling well could we actually sell? See, when you first starting out with your Mercari, you have to think about it in this way, right? What is more important, money or feedback? Like that's where people have to draw a line to themselves. What's more important to you, money or feedback? I mean, yeah, profit or feedback, not money, but profit or feedback, because you can get a bunch of profit but get horrible feedback. A lot of people choose that option all the time, especially people that sell reps. They always choose profit over feedback. See, I wouldn't take this picture because we don't have the design by Apple. This person is very serious. That's crazy work. Appreciate the likes. You have no clue, man. I really do. All right, we're going to... Ooh, I don't think I can. I should be able to. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're going to take that. We want to make sure it's not saying Apple. And that's interesting. This one says no brand too, so we don't recommend no free we're not doing no free shipping. None, okay? None. 246. So he's okay. So the reason I would list this product, and this is the charger bundle, the reason why I would list this is with anticipation that I'm gonna get good feedback. When it comes to these platforms, when I say would you want profit or would you want feedback, I tend to find that wanting feedback always gets you more money. Because when people give you good feedback, I always see sales triple, double. I've even seen them 5x the amount within the next week or so. And I would just honestly guess that it's because when you're doing well on a platform, when you have like good reviews, the platform tends to say, oh, well, I'm going to stick with this person and we're going to push this person because he's making our customers happy, especially eBay. Because eBay is at a point to where they're trying to compete with Amazon. So they definitely need people to be happy. And if you're a seller providing that happiness to customers and your account has positive feedback on a consistent basis and you're building that up, eBay is going to suspend you less. Guarantee you, 100%. They're going to start treating you different. I promise you, bro. Like, I done seen it. Like, if you're somebody out there that has had a eBay and then you you have an eBay and then something happened, whether it's a copyright strike or whether it's a violation of any sort, you probably called or got that email that was like, well, we got to suspend your account and we can't explain to you why, right? When you get those emails where they say, yeah, we can't or we no longer will have you as a seller on our platform, but unfortunately we can't tell you why, that's because you ain't providing enough value. Because I've seen people that have top seller accounts get those emails, email eBay back, and then eBay say, oh, we're sorry. We'll fix this. Just please don't list this anymore. You see what I'm saying? So, again, stop trying to list products that are just making you bread. Try sometimes to list products that are going to get you feedback first and then leave the whole the whole profit and making the money last. And I know that sounds funny because what the hell are we on this platform for if we not going to make bread? I get it, but you have to understand the difference between the now and later is that making more profit with the customer's expectation that you're going to fill it properly is 10 times better than with a paranoid customer that hits you up 24/7 asking you when you're shipping out their package. Trust me. Trust me. All right. So that's really, really important. And that's what I would definitely suggest to you all is to prioritize that feedback. All right. Jaden, I appreciate you, man. We're going to stay locked in for sure, man. We got to stay locked in. We definitely have to. I am about to get off of YouTube, though, because if I ain't lying. These lights, they hurt my eyes. And I am tired, bruh. I'm tired. I don't even got the energy that I usually have because I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah. So again, I don't really. I wanted to list more on Mercari, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it throughout the days. Because what I don't want to do is try to rush something for videos and not get the sales I want. I'm gonna start drop shipping cologne and maybe AirPods. Okay. Yeah, I mean, see, I'm not even gonna get into my little rant about it, but I will say this, like, yeah, I would say right now, bro, see, a lot of people want to sell AirPods because of the profit margin, right? Because I'm just thinking about it, right? And I'm just trying to articulate what I want to say in the right manner. A lot of people, they choose AirPods because they know AirPods will get them, you'll pay. It depends on where you're getting it from. But I know people that get their AirPods from wesply.com. They pay $17 for AirPods. They make anywhere between $60 to $90, right? So at your best, you're making, if you get a 12-pack, you can get a 6-pack or a 4-pack. But if you get a 12-pack, let's just say best case scenario, you make $700, right? But, and you pay something like, no, it's $13 for AirPods. So you pay like $160 something. The point of the matter is that the profit margin is astronomically high. And that's why a lot of people want to sell AirPods. The only problem I'll say is that AirPods have a tendency to make you feel like you're doing something when in reality you're not. See, and that's where I think a lot of us have to look ourselves in the mirror and realize what we're really trying to do. Because when I approach a student, right? Yeah, try that wholesale tip for sure. When I approach a student, right, I can find out about that student in like the first conversation based upon what they're saying. Some people will be like, yeah, I'm trying to list these AirPods and I'm trying to really, really sell these AirPods. Then I know for a fact they're not focused on really building their brand. They're just focused on building their profit. Now, the reason I say that is because AirPods won't always be accessible. They're always going to change in quality. They're never going to be a consistent stream of income because you're always going to, the more AirPods you sell, the more complaints you're going to have regardless. Okay, whether it's from the customer or Apple. I tell the story all the time. I sold so many AirPods on Shopify to a bunch of my supporters. I'm talking, man, listen, I've sold a bunch, right? And this was not last year, but the year before. So it was 2023. And Apple's legal team hit me up because they were like, well, copyright infringement. But, at that time, I didn't have the headphones listed on my website as Apple AirPods. I had them listed as something else. So they couldn't do nothing. But the point of the matter is it's always going to be somebody complaining. Then you got to look behind and look over your shoulder. It becomes real frustrating because, honestly, I'm so glad that I got clones now and I'm out of the replica space because as you know, you're not allowed to store or sell replicas. Like, you're just not allowed to, as far as like brick and mortar. So, I don't have to look over my back. I don't have to, like, hope that anything happens. All right, Jaden, thank you, man. I'm about to do the same thing, broski, and I'll be live tomorrow. I'm gonna go live in the morning probably as well. I'm gonna go live on TikTok a lot more. Just a lot more, because I have a goal that I want to reach. So I'm just trying to get better at TikToking. But yeah, guys. So those are my tips for today. I'm about to take it under for sure, so I can get up in the morning. But guys, man, thank you so much for watching, man. I appreciate you guys, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll be live, all right, 8 o'clock, all right, Eastern time. I'll see you guys later. Peace.